Hey, welcome to LRGA Curves, everybody. Come on in here. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Are we going to talk about it, you guys? Give you a chance to come on in here. I'm a little late. I just was talking to my friend I've known since I was, how old was we? We were like 10. We were like 10 when we met, huh, Angie? So I'm sorry I was running late today, but I just got off the phone with our old friend, and we've known each other since we were like 10 years old, you guys. So I had to take that call. Just a second. Right on, you guys. Thanks for coming through again to LRGA Curves. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in. Go ahead and ring my bell. Ring my bell so you can get notified when I upload videos and whatnot. You know what I did? I freaking watched Married to Medicine this morning on Peacock. I don't watch it on the same night. I have a Peacock. I don't have a full freaking cable bundle, as it were. And plus, on Peacock, you get the extended versions of most of the shows that are on Bravo. So I do appreciate an extended version of anything, even in the movies. So on Bravo, I watched Married to Medicine, especially after that trailer, you guys, that mid-season trailer. And it's not really mid-season. I will later. Okay, babe. And so I watched Married to Medicine after that mid-season trailer that Dr. Heavenly had mentioned. She was like, oh, somebody needs to go check on RHOA, because that's how you do a trailer. And I agreed. I felt like the trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta looks like a movie video. I mean, a music video more than a freaking trailer for a show. I mean, where's the content that we're going to see? What are the words that are going to be said? I saw a lot of hippie silhouettes and fabulous weaves over there, but they weren't giving us like lots of interaction, you know? Whereas the trailer for Married to Medicine, hey, Linnell, thanks for coming through. Happy Monday. The trailer for Married to Medicine, I felt like it was giving us everything. Plus, I mean, it left me like, ooh, I hope this isn't an M. Night Shyamalan movie and this is the best part. And it did not disappoint. And I don't think the rest of the remaining season will disappoint. Dr. Heavenly said when she was over here the other day that they were going to do 15 episodes. That was episode 10 last night. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6 episodes left, including last night. And Dr. Heavenly also said she got us through the first part. Quad got it from here, y'all. That's what Dr. Heavenly said. Dr. Heavenly said Quad got it from here for the rest of the best show on Bravo, Married to Medicine season. Okay? And I think that she is not mistaken. And it's not just because I'm a Heavenly's angel or Boopy. Okay? It's because Quad was doing the most last night. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I love that she was doing so much. Her wig scooted back like it was on Karen Huger's head, and her freaking headband and wig cap was exposed. Okay? And King was like, I don't care if I can see your skull cap, girl. I don't care. You my woman. He just was like so understanding. So as you know, here on LRGA Curves, we talk about what I like on the episode. I don't do a full play-by-play. You already know. And a lot of the stuff I do has to do with Black power, Black centric, Black excellence, or the dissecting of a Black stereotype that I don't feel like having to deal with during my entertainment. Yeah, yeah. So in this episode, they were already in Key West. Oh, yeah. And why do they put Black excellence, save your life doctors on all of these domestic flights for their trips on Bravo? We're 11 seasons in on Bravo and Truly or Pop. I think it's Pop does Married to Medicine. And the good doctors have yet to take a trip to someplace else. While the Housewife franchises, full of ladies who just kiki and lie and spend their husband's money all day, allegedly, they get international flowed out on private jets. And you know, Bravo be footing the bill for this. They can call it their trip all they want, but Bravo be footing the bill. And you know the salaries on Married to Medicine, the way that Mariah Hook set it up, was that the salaries on Married to Medicine are equal, and there's not like one person they have to like break a budget for of $2 million. It's like they all get paid the same as far as the doctors go. I'm not sure what they're giving to SweetT. But when the show first came on, all the ladies were getting the same amount. You know that, right? So in my guesstimation, the powers that be in the corporate echelons, in the revenue department, have been making it hand over fist with Married to Medicine advertising dollars, because all the ladies get paid the same. So they don't ever have to come out of pocket anymore for like a special someone. And I do not believe that Phaedra Parks got any extra money for being a part of this cast. I don't think that she got over what the core five are getting for surely. I don't know for sure though. But just based off of how the show is set up, I can see them abiding by that already set standard of all of you Black excellent doctors with degrees and such are about to get paid the same amount over here. Okay. And I think that's an okay way to do it. I think you should get what you deserve also. Like, I don't think that Phaedra's smirks and fabulous wigs deserve exactly on par with what the other ladies are earning by interacting with each other and speaking and sharing their lives, right? Now, Phaedra shouldn't get any extra money just to make faces. Exactly, Allie from Miami. Thanks for coming through. We are of the same mind, girl. We are of the same mind. Smirks and fabulous wigs is not worth an extra milli, okay? Nope, it's not. And all the chaos and confusion and backstabbing that's been revealed that she does behind the scenes, nope. And we only, okay, so they're over here and everybody's dressed, and Contessa, bless her heart. What did Contessa have on, you guys? Bless her heart. She came down. She's like, oh, we're getting in the jacuzzi. Let me put this on. And Scott was like, okay. And did you ever notice that even though Scott has been revealed to get Botox, his eyebrows sure go up a lot when he like looking at those outfits Contessa be picking out. And she looked great. Her body's on hit. And they make their way down to the pool. We see Sheik arrive and meet Phaedra. And I'm with Dr. Heavenly. I'm like, the blurred out doctor you were dating last season wasn't good enough to come on a couples trip with. But this season, you bring Sheik, who you want to call you mama, who did the same scene with you that Apollo did with you, that Apollo did with Kenya when he picked up all of Kenya's ass on his forearms and threw Kenya in the pool that time, remember? And now Phaedra and Sheik, when they met at the couples dinner or whatever it was, put on by Pimps Up, Hose Down with SweetT and Greg's friends over there at the shout out to Quad's Sweet and Savory event. Yeah, I said a lot. That was a whole mouthful. I was trying to fit it all in. Don't take that the wrong way. Don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, that was a lot. So I did not buy it. Just like I don't buy that she sat down and was immediately telling Sheik to call her mama without previously knowing Sheik. And then I keep pointing out when they did go out on their one-on-one date, when he fed her food like they were still in Nigeria, and it was fufu, he asked her, I want you guys to put it in the chat. How can you not know who Phaedra Parks is, but know you know her ex-husband and current wife? Hello? So it's just the lies on lies on lies, okay? But we also know that Phaedra is good for a lie. So I think this is kind of a setup. Like, Phaedra doesn't strike me as the kind of woman that would go out of town with somebody on camera unless it was to her specific benefit. Because doing that, she wouldn't even like speed date last season when they were trying to get her to date some people that were her age and whatever. Remember, she didn't like all that. But then she gets to pick Sheik at a Sweet and Savory event. I don't know. It's just not, bless her heart. So she walks in late to the event with a man that she didn't have when she first arrived, right? So she was trying to pull a 1-2 also on Dr. Heavenly, because she already knows that Apollo's on his way and that Apollo wasn't bringing his wife. So she's going to invite Sheik, who told her at their first date, knows her ex-husband and his current wife very well, after she said that Apollo better not bring anybody, and she showed up by herself. And obviously nobody knew old boy was coming the way everybody reacted at the thing. So Dr. Simone can say all she wants that this is going to mess up, put a monkey wrench in Dr. Heavenly's plans. But what were Phaedra's plans in doing this, you guys? Hello? Hello? Phaedra was trying to set up Apollo for some good old nasty television moments. Okay, but I bet Dr. Heavenly texted Apollo that night and was like, oh, by the way, you might want to bring your wife. You'll be the only single person here if you don't. I could see her doing that because she did already invite him. And he's like, oh, no, she doesn't have to come. And that was under the premise that Phaedra, too, was going to be by herself. Not so they could hook up, but just because why rub that in? You know what I'm saying? I'm so tired of people still asking why Quad is on the show. Right, Allie? And not Married to Medicine? Exactly. Quad is on the show because she good for the show. How about that? How about that? She's on the show because she's good for the show. Obviously, she better for the show to production than Mariah Huck, because who been here longer? Married to Medicine or not? Right? So Miss Quad is serving the people what they need heaps of, because regardless, think about how many attacks Quad has been under on this show. They tried to get her off when Mariah was still here. It didn't work. They tried to get her off after Mariah been here several times, and it hasn't worked. And the latest attack is Phaedra Parks herself tried to get Quad kicked off the show that she asked Quad to help her get on. Talk about some crabs in a bucket mentality, dirty bitch shit. That's dirty. And then after she went to HR and tried to get her fired, she gonna show up with Sheik And I'm thinking that must have been the same weekend that I need to go back and check the thing. I'm going to make a note. Make a freaking note. What dates were they in Key West? Because if the dates they were in Key West coincide with the dates that Candy said she was leaving the freaking Real Housewives of Atlanta, then that could be where she took that jet out to the next day after she painted Heavenly and the rest of them as mean girls, after she the only one that's mean, not sharing a thing that's going on in her life with these ladies, but talking a gang of ish about them behind their backs, right? And pledging hundreds of thousands of dollars that Jackie had to cover to get paid back by Phaedra later, because that wasn't a pledge. That was a check they wrote that man that he was supposed to be able to get a check that night and go cash it the next day. But they couldn't do that because Phaedra Parks and her Fakey McFakerson act, right? Her and her tax bracket. She did write the check eventually, but it was after some hooplas, okay? And I bet after the whole Mean Girl thing on this trip, because this trip is a week after the Met Gala. And I could see her using that as a reason to further not pay, because now she's mad at everybody, right? Oh, you're mean girls. Oh, you're mean. You're so mean to me. But what are you, Phaedra Parks? You're mean too, hun. So pots meet kettles all the time, girl. And they're all black on the bottom. Okay? But then we had Quad and King come down to the pool in all of their melanated beauty and excellence. I can't wait till they have some beautiful chocolate drop kids. Those are going to be some beautiful babies and full of confidence like no other. I love it. I love a good, strong Black. Shout out to Black History Month. Again, everything we currently use in 2025, I bet 80% of what we've currently, because there haven't been a lot of new innovations that aren't based off of a Black thought. So, and all of the things that we currently use, the doorknobs in your house were created by a Black man. Did you know that? Check it. Check it. The traffic lights, Black. Part of why they're red, yellow, and green. Yeah. Potato chips. Yep. Yep. Refrigerators. Yep. A lot of the shit you guys use today is because of DEI. Thank you very much. Thank you fucking very much. And the DEI was that Black people did it and white people stole it and made it their own while they sat on porches. Anyway, shout out to Black History Month. We're excellent. The ingenuity that is the Black mind and creativity formed and created the very fucking nation that we're in right now, y'all. Did you know that California is named after a Black queen, Califia, who used to be here with Amazons and guard gold? Did you know that shit? Check it. Check it. Yeah, it's the truth. Black Queen Califia. Yep. We've been everywhere and everything, and we was kings and queens first. So shout out to Black history. Back to the excellence that's Quad and King. Okay. So then they all sit down at this picture up top and they're doing a vibe check. And Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon got to be in charge of the vibe check segment because remember, she's co-hosting the trip with Dr. Simone. So they're sitting there in the front and they're asking these questions. No way, Miss Black Titanic's in the house. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you. And Designs and Decor is in the house. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. You guys, Black Titanic has a channel in these YouTube streets. Be sure you go and check her out. Love her. Thanks for coming. So the scene is set and everybody has a whiteboard and Phaedra was supposed to sit by herself, but then here comes Chic And so everybody's coupled up. Now, I will say the positioning. Now, Dr. Heavenly did put the people where they're sitting, she said. I don't know if production went back and made sure that Quad was right in front of freaking Dr. G like that. Because Quad could have went like where Phaedra and them are. Or Quad could have went even where, who's in the back there? Is that Dr. Jackie and Curtis are, or even where Toya and Eugene are, right? And we don't even see freaking, no, I think that's Cecil and Simone. So we don't even see Curtis and Jackie in the picture. And that is some place that Quad could have went. She was very, very, very close to the hemisphere of the fire that became Dr. G's head. And there was a lot of other places she could have got shot, but I don't know that it would have made as great a television for our episode. And it was great positioning because what came next was everything, you guys. So, like the first question they ask is a real easy question. How long you guys date to seal the deal? Then the next question was, how often do you guys get it in? They went around, and of course, Phaedra played coy, and her and Sheik aren't entertaining that right now. Mimi, did we even get to Dr. Mimi and her new dude's quota? I don't remember their quota. I know Curtis said 0. Jackie said 1. What did Eugene and Toya even say? Did they say about? I don't remember what they said either. Oh darn. Oh darn. That is funny, huh? Well, his head looked like it was on fire. It looked like he was having a heat flash. Menopause much? I heard men go through menopause too because your hormones leaving is what's menopause, right? So, and their hormones be leaving too. Testosterone be leaving. Let's see. Who else said they had sex? There was 2 times a week for. Oh, you see it right here on the picture. 2 times a week for Eugene, and he's holding it up after the revelation that Quad and King get it in 15 times a week. A week. If you did it once a day, that's 7 times. If you did it twice a day, that's 14 times. They both said 15. Because sometimes they just throw on Saturdays, you could probably get an afternoon in or whatever you need to do. Okay. And I know look, if you're committed to it, you can get in twice a days. It's not hard. You just got to wake up a little earlier and go to bed a little later. And you can do 2 a days with your man. Okay. So it's not hard to do. And most men wake up with wood, right? So all you got to do is climb on in the morning. And then in the evening, there's wood again. Maybe he sees your bare feet. Maybe that little jiggle when you was walking up the stairs. Who knows? There's wood again. Well, King looks like wood is not a problem. Okay. There's nothing wrong with his testosterone level. All his hair follicles are intact where the testosterone pattern is. Okay. 2 a days for a woman who didn't have none for 3 years to the man she was married to. Let him tell it. That's the reason he was in the hotel room with his friend in that hoe. Remember? Remember? Do you remember when Dr. G was with the hoe? Yeah. Uh-huh. And Quad was crying about it on the reunion, remember? And then she filed for divorce. Remember? And we never really heard what Quad went through. Remember? And we were all wondering because little stuff has been coming out since then. But since it wasn't on the show, people are quick to be like, oh, she's making it up or she's just saying anything. But I'm starting to think there might have been some kind of clause or something, or maybe Bravo's just doing what Bravo does and protects like freaking James Kennedy level freaking narcissistic abusers, allegedly. Okay. Because they wouldn't even let Quad say what she needs to say about what happens with her and G. There have been many times she said it on camera and they refuse to let it out, you guys. For whatever reason, they do not want this Black woman's pain to be shared with the world in a way that would disparage Dr. G. At the dinner where Quad was, where they were all the cowgirls, remember, because Toya wanted them to dress up, remember? At that dinner, part of when she was crying for 2 hours, when she finally got that cathartic release around her good sallies about the tragedy that happened at her house, Dr. Heavenly said she was talking about the things that she endured with Dr. G that night. And remember the part where we saw SweetT go back and be like, I'm just going to eat my scallops. And she was eating her scallops. Remember? That was because her and Quad had got into it again about Dr. G and Dr. G's treatment of Quad. And we saw last night what Quad keeps on experiencing from Sweet and Sour, which is her being told that her lived experience is a lie, and her being challenged from SweetT, the new wife, on what her lived experience with Dr. G was. So at the cowgirl dinner, they got really heated and they like bumped chests and everything. Not in a sexy nipple touching way either. It was like in a bitch kind of way. Because SweetT kept on minimizing what Quad said she endured with Dr. G. And she was just regurgitating the things that Dr. G has filled her head with, instead of just being like, oh, wow. She could have just said, oh, wow, that's not what I heard. But for her to like challenge and argue with Quad over Quad's lived experience is ridiculous, don't you think? I mean, I'm literally in a world. Well, I was on December 31st before old 45 could have been back in there, when I could have decided to be a purple hat on a green day. You pick it, I can be it. We could be trans species, trans anything. They was trying a lot before 45 came through and put the hammer down. He's like, nope, no more of that shit. Right? So for Sweet and Sour to minimize what Quad says she's experienced with authority, like she knows for a fact, like Quad needs to shut the up talking about Dr. G because she's disparaging Sweet and Sour's current husband, Quad's ex-husband. And I just find it really, like, that's not how you win a friend, okay? And I hope that when you guys have friends in your real life, that you're not sitting there trying to tell them what was going on in their life during a time where you know nothing about it, and the person whose information you have privy to is a known liar. He was lying to Quad. He was lying to Quad. Everybody knows he was lying to Quad about where he was and what he was doing. Those are lies. And he was doing it on TV, acting like nothing to see here, folks, until he got caught. Those are lies. That's a personality trait, right? We saw it on TV play out that the psychiatrist likes to play games of the mind with Quad. So last night's episode also showed, again, SweetT tell Quad she didn't go through what she was going through. Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? She said, I divorced this man and I am glad they're together. And then SweetT said he wanted the divorce. How the fuck would SweetT know that? Unless she was either watching the show, which that is not what was digitally displayed, darling, or unless she's listening to what Dr. G's hothead is saying. I think it's the latter. And if it's the latter, then you can't tell Quad that what she is talking about is bullshit because you don't know that for a fact. All you have is one side of the I'm going to do anything to make myself look good and Quad look bad story. That's all you have. And Quad has been waiting to get her story out. They have not let it be shown. And all of a sudden at this vibe check event, we get a glimpse. It was just a little teeny tiny glimpse of what Quad endured at the hands of Dr. G because we saw his treatment of SweetT, right? So SweetT is sitting here arguing with Quad, sticking up for Greg that he's not an abusive prick, allegedly, only for the abusive, allegedly, prick to turn to her and start jabbing her with his whiteboard. Did you guys see that shit? And yelling at her. And he was yelling at Quad too. He was like, that's not how you talk to a lady, bitch. The way he raised his voice at Quad, I don't care if Quad was drunk doing 3 much. He was like, just shut up. We don't care what you think. Well, actually, my voice was too low. Just shut up. We don't care what you think. That's how Dr. G talks. We do it 2 times a week. You see how he's looking down because he probably don't even really get it in twice a week. And then she explaining the twice a week. So you know it's not even twice a week because explanations and looking downs. She's like, but you know, when we try and we get it in a little more. Okay. Well, I thought that's all you guys was focused on. That seems like you guys got a lot of more things you can be doing at your house during scenes instead of talking about Dr. Heavenly all the time and how hurt you are over some shit that you have every accountability in also. Because bottom line is, with all the shit that she's currently talking here in 2025, she's about to get another earful of something she don't like to hear when Dr. Heavenly says it. Like right now, Dr. Heavenly is with Carlos King over at the Messy Monday live event. And she invited me as her personal guest, but I was unable to make it. And you can bet they're talking about it right now. She probably got a whole lot of something to say over there at the Messy Monday live event at the winery there in Atlanta today. It starts at 3. Uh-huh. I can't wait to hear it either. I can't wait to hear it because she has not been going in on on Sweet and Sour all season because Sweet and Sour claimed that it was affecting her mental health, remember? So Dr. Heavenly did some woe nillies. She's like, it was all just in fun. But if she's talking about her mental health is affected, then let me just not even mention the new wife. I'm not even going to go in on her 1,000. So what's the new wife do with the respite that she has from Dr. Heavenly's so-called beratements? Oh, she spent every single things on her YouTube talking about Dr. Heavenly. I go over there and watch because Dr. Heavenly really does. Like she's like, oh, just spread it around, spread it around. Go ahead and follow her. Everybody go subscribe to her, And I had already subscribed to her, but I do go back and rewatch the things, And I do my own little Heavenly counter while I play it on double speed, even because she talks real slow. And I did a Heavenly counter one time, several times actually. And the shows are usually about a half hour, 40 minutes. One time, the Dr. Heavenly counter I did was only like 17 minutes in, and she had already said Dr. Heavenly's name like no less than 17 times. It was like literally like once a minute. Yeah. Like she's high key obsessed with Dr. Heavenly. She cannot keep that lady's name out of her mouth. And then in other interviews, she'd be talking about Dr. Heavenly too. Yep. But now I think she's going to hyper focus on Quad the rest of the season. Yeah, I think that's what she's going to have to do. Is hyper focus on Quad. Because Quad made Dr. G flash on her. Dr. G smooth flipped out. Quad had about 7 rums, and you see how her wig is looking. So you know she was on one, right? And Dr. G immediately turned and took it all out on Sweet and Sour. I felt bad for her. I felt so bad for her. She does not deserve to be treated that way. That is effed up. That is so messed up. And remember, allegedly, when she said Dr. Heavenly tried to get her drunk, she was like, oh, I see the things that Quad was talking about with Dr. G. I bet you do, because we saw it too, girl. We saw it too. Gaslighting, abusive, blaming, controlling, narcissistic, mean. He was just mean to her. And you see the look on King's face right here? He was looking back like, oh, I see exactly what my honey was talking about. She had to endure at your ass. I see exactly what she had to go through with your good yelling at beautiful women ass. Fucking Mitch much? Doesn't he look like, ooh, he is a Mitch? Doesn't that look on King's face when he was looking back at Dr. G poking SweetT, yelling at her with the flames coming off his head? He was looking back like that, you guys. Like, ooh, I know exactly what my woman is talking about. Yeah, she sat there and tried to argue with Quad. Quad was like, ooh, yeah, you want it. You want to be me. I know. It was bad, you guys, but so good to watch. It did feel a little awkward, but I also know that shit was chopped up too, to just make it look like everybody's mouth was sitting there ajar. I can't believe that nobody really said anything. There wasn't even a cough during those moments, or was that all edited to perfection? Not that, I mean, we did see Contessa get up and try to help Quad walk away, but why? Why? Dr. G's been sitting around talking a gang of like, oh, I got big balls while Quad's alone. And now Quad come with King and he's all taking it. Now he's pointing down towards SweetT. Yeah. Yeah. Last year when they were at that Met Gala. Ooh, can I have 3 or 2? Can I have 2? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sweat. That's 3. Right on. Love you. Love you more. Those are good. Daddy made them?
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, Mom.
You also made a burger.
Oh, awesome. Okay, you guys. Sorry about that. Let's look at some of these comments. Kelsey, thanks for coming through. I don't feel bad. She thinks she won Greg, right? Some of these fans really hating on her. SweetT gives me Obsessed by Mariah Carey. I don't watch, however, in my Kimmy voice, I am aware of all the players. I know how people change, but Dr. G is not one of those people, right? So on SweetT's first season, she admitted that Quad was right about Dr. G. Yep. And now she backtracking, calling her a liar. Yep. When you have an intense love for your partner, the quota is easy to get. Hello. Intense love and no kids around to interrupt. I swear my kids are like, they're freaking cock blockers, dudes. Me and Daddy will be like, oh, we used to have to go to a closet and do it. And lock the door to our bedroom and then go in the closet. And it was like our little love nest, right? Had a little pad on the floor and everything for the knees and the back. And yeah. But then they'd always start screaming on the other side of the door. You can't even like get in no afternoon quickies when you got kids and stuff. So Quad got it good right now. And that's why SweetT should be getting it way more than 2 times a week trying to have a baby with a senior. He needs all the Viagras because we're going to need 1-a-days from you, sir. 1-a-days. Yes, that's how you put the baby in the spiral. 1-a-days. Okay. Yeah, and we already talked about how we're all tired of Quad being asked why Quad is on the show when she's such good television. Oh, Kid Creddy's in the house. Thanks for coming through. You're hating on Quad, I meant. Oh, yeah, right. You're not late. You're right on time. I'm kind of like, my cadence is such that we're getting the full scope of Married to Medicine's episode and how we know for a fact that what Dr. Heavenly said about Quad taking over the rest of the season, it was like she literally landed a plane. It was like, I'll get off here, Dr. Heavenly. You got it. They all mad at you. Let me have some. Right? Right? And they weren't even that bad though, Kid Cruddy, right? They weren't that bad. But I was saying, Kid Cruddy, the positioning of where she sat the people, because she told Dr. Simone, as I like to call her, Dr. Pancakes, when she first got down there, remember, she's like, oh, I've sat the people here and Phaedra can sit here. I don't know. She's not going to be with nobody. But she put Quad's butt in Dr. G's face like that. And I'm thinking that was the one that, like, the questions weren't as messy to me as the seating arrangement. For less mess, Quad should have been at least where Toya was, or where Jackie was, or where Simone was for a limited amount of mess. But allowing 7 rum cokes and Quad being in the vicinity of her alleged abuser like that, with now a man that can protect her and stick up for her like a real man, king, who doesn't even raise his voice at her. He lets her have all the moments she needs to be a complete Quad. I love it. May everybody have a love like that, where the person lets you be your complete self, when you're your nonsense self or when you're your excellent boss self. That's the kind of love everybody needs. Just let me exist, man. Everybody has moments. This is just going to be a moment, King. My wig is about to be straight. You're not going to be able to see my wig cap all the time, bruh. It's just the first time that I get to say how this man treated me in front of all his men friends and a camera. Because all these men have been thinking and what he wants them to think for all this time. And now I get to finally say what I need to say because I got this liquid courage and my magnificent melanin king beside me. Okay? I get it. I totally get it. How that could have happened. But I don't think that it would have happened as bad, perhaps, had she not been in that immediate vicinity. You know? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. She could have even been sitting where Phaedra and old boy are, but just not where she is or where Mimi is or where, who's that? Who's that back there? Oh no, that was Jackie. And okay, so she can't be where Jackie is either. That's yeah, she just needs to be on the ends. Way away. That was really too much, Dr. Heavenly. I don't know. She was correct about Dr. G being in love with Quad. Hello. I think so. But I remember they didn't even finish the questions, right? Like, because I'm like, how many times a week does Mimi and them have sex? And how many times a week? Oh, and then Dr. Simone said that she got up and dropped it like it was hot, remember? And then he was like 0. No, did he say? Yeah, it was like 0. She was like, please. But I don't remember how many times Mimi and them said it. Married to Medicine was fire last night, and Quad earned all the coins. Dr. Heavenly did tell Dr. Simone about the seating. You see what I'm saying? And Dr. Heavenly did tell us that Quad has Married to Medicine the rest of the season. Like what we saw last night is going to be like that the rest of the season because of Quad, y'all. We're going to get something for the next 5 episodes because of Quad serving up the plates. Okay? Serving up the plates. Dr. Pancakes wrapped it up when things got hot. There were more questions to be asked. She's all, I just got a text from the hotel that they're closed. Please, that's a freaking resort in Key West. They weren't closed. Dr. Pancakes and her good flip-flopping ass. Oh wow, I can't wait. Yeah, no, I can't even wait either. I love a turned up quad. I love a turned up quad. But I like I said, how did you guys feel about Sweet and Sour arguing with Quad about what she experienced with Dr. G, telling her, "Oh no, you didn't. He wanted to divorce you." Nah, 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 nah. Like she should have just been quiet. But I feel like that's part of the problems with millennials. You have thoughts and you get to tweet about it. And so you think everybody needs to fucking know. And it's not necessarily like that in all situations. Dr. Pancakes is Dr. Simone because she's a flip flopper. She be flip flopping. She flip flops like a stack of Johnny pancakes. Johnny One Eyes. Okay, Milo, get out. Stay out then. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't think that it was a great idea for SweetT to do that. And then, plus, it was annoying Dr. G. SweetT was so concerned with being looked at like Quad burned her or like, had the last word, that she didn't even check the temperature of Dr. G and his hothead because he was poking her with that freaking whiteboard, you guys. And she's telling us she's going around running when she's not talking about Dr. Heavenly. She's whining about how freaking Quad is jealous of what she has. Really? Really? Everybody look at King. And like Toya said, King can have his shirt open. And then look at Dr. G. And then think about 15 times a week with King. And then think about 2 times a week with Dr. G. And then think about the house that they do it in when they're over to Quad's house or King's house after they just got out of their Rolls Royces. And then think about the house that SweetT and Dr. G do it in, which is the house that Quad used to not do it in with Dr. G for 3 years. You guys. She really putting so much on her husband. And I'm here for it. I want every wife, every husband to put that much on their spouse all the time. Be a Dr. Damon. Don't chastise that woman in public. Don't emasculate that man in public, Toya. You guys be a united front, period. When you get home, deal with each other respectfully. But all of this poking me with a fucking whiteboard after you put 2 times in such big letters. He was proud of 2 times, y'all. Look how big that shit is. Ooh, I get it 2 times a week. Lies. Lies. He be taking Saturday naps. Lies. And then she's explaining, well, we do it more and more when we, when we doing the IVF. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right? Allie says, I'm a millennial and I find it disgusting to talk about someone's life experience, especially when it dealt with abuse. Exactly. Exactly. In her mind, Quad is lying, but SweetT got a little taste of his anger. Hello. And in front of everybody. Hello. Hello. Quad gagged me when she told Earl Grey that she wants what she wanted to be. Yeah, that she's what she wanted to be, y'all. Yeah, that was that look on her face right there when she said that. She's like, I'm what you want to be. Mm-hmm. Thumbs up, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Like this video, you guys. It's a free way to support the channel. I love it. The algorithm loves it when you guys beat the heart or like the video or share it out. It helps me get in the algorithm's good graces because, yeah, me and the algorithm been having a boxing match. It's winning. But I'm just not okay with, even though, like, so SweetT, I don't know her to like her or not like her. I just give her a hard time here because she came in so hot. She calls herself sweet when she's obviously sour. So I just came up with sweet and sour. A lot of people call her Lipton, Earl Grey, all kind of stuff. Oh, look, my speech impediment just popped out. I used to have to go to speech therapy, you guys. And I used to have to put a popsicle stick on my tongue so that I could form the words correctly and stuff. So I did used to have a speech impediment, and it pops out sometimes. But yeah, SweetT, I don't not like her in real life. Oh, you call her mole because the forehead thing? Yeah, I can see that happening. And he was telling her something was wrong with her eyebrows, and it was because the space between her mole and her eyebrow. He'd be messing with her. So I don't not like her as a human. She's beautiful. She's awesome. But she did come in and I feel like she's just high key delusional with where she believes she is and whose fault it is that she's there. And I don't know. I'm not feeling a whole lot of accountability for her part in what's happening with even Dr. Heavenly, and why she needs to use these limited words like implying that Quad is jealous, and saying things like the doctors need the show. I'm like, they're whole fucking doctors. Like, oh, me and Dr. G don't need the show. The rest of the ladies need this show for a check. That just sounds so the delulu, the stupidity of some of the stuff that she says that she believes is just like, I just can't. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So, but how he treated her last night, I felt sorry for her. I felt sorry for her, and I felt sorry for Quad self when she was going through that with him and had nobody to turn to. Because when Quad was divorcing him, none of these ladies really rallied around her. She separated herself from them, remember? And they didn't know a lot of the stuff until like recently, what she had endured at the hands of Dr. G. And I don't know if it's because she couldn't share or because she wasn't ready to share. Or wasn't safe to share. I mean, if you can't even tell fucking Simone's pancake ass about a tragedy and then tell her not to bring it up on camera, and then because a producer who doesn't know her and love her told her to bring it up on camera, she's going to cut your wrist. So obviously she had a trust issue with these ladies, because they do have a habit of throwing shit back in your face later for some of them. But nobody's brought up the biscuit tossing by Toya in a while. But they do throw some other stuff up in their faces later. And maybe Quad just didn't feel like hearing about it or being challenged on it or whatever, because a lot of their husbands have remained friends with Dr. G, which means Dr. G's been over your house as the wife and my ex-friend or still friend. But Quad wasn't going over to Simone's house, but Dr. G was. Quad wasn't going over to Toya's house, but Dr. G was. So no wonder she wasn't sharing her freaking life with these ladies like that, right? Let's see. Zaleen, thanks for coming through. Oh, you get to defend? Yeah, you got to defend T. But I felt sorry for your girl last night, Zaleen. I felt high key embarrassed and sorry for her. Poor thing. I know her daddy wanted to reach through the television, but then again, he was probably like, that's what you get. You marry an old ass man like that who's set in their ways and thinks they can tell you what the heck to do with your whole life in America. Shout out to Black History Month. Shout out to Black History Month. Look around wherever you are. A Black person had something to do with that ingenuity that you're currently using today in 2025 on the 3rd of February. Shout out to Black ingenuity and creativity and the imaginations of Black minds that have everything working in the universe the way that it's working, from the math to the astrology to the words that we speak. Hello, shout out to Black excellence. The Married to Medicine show is the best show on Bravo because of its opportunity to be Black excellence, and it started off that way. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Her sister got pregnant. Yes, her sister got pregnant and already had the baby. Kid Cruddy says she's also trying to play the sugar baby, but acting delusional and foolish. She just seems completely unprepared for prime time. Exactly. Like she forgets that the last time she said he was a sugar daddy and she was a sugar baby, it was on freaking film. And then you're gonna get to the Pimps Up Hoes Down Sweet and Savory event. Shout out Quad Web, Sweet and Savory original. And act like that didn't look like a very awkward interview for some pimps and hoes, some type of something. It was so weird, right? And then in the next time her and Dr. G went live on her YouTube channel, she did talk about him being a sugar daddy and her being a sugar baby. So I don't know, but she doesn't want people to think that when she said access to the money, get a little access to the money, get a little access to the money, like that wasn't a sugar baby statement. There was a fucking camera on. We heard you, lady. The eighth housewife plays it back as often as they can. You have t-shirts made that says I can get a little access to the money, but have the audacity to get your panties in a bunch when somebody says that it's a sugar baby relationship with a freaking Scrooge on top of it. You giving up a lot more than he is, believe it. If you were just throwing out her seasoning at the beginning of the episode last week and throwing out her lamps because she left the bad lamps and took the sleep number bed. It's just, yeah, you're right. It's delusional and foolish. Unprepared for prime time. I did feel bad for T in that moment. The same happened to Quad. Yes, the same happened to Quad. Exactly. So why is SweetT sitting up here pretending like how he treats her isn't how Quad also experienced that shit? So my thoughts on Quad's behavior are I'm here for it. The next 5 episodes, let Heavenly tell it, is going to be chock full of Quad activated like this. I live for an activated Quad, especially now she got rid of all those accents. Remember, she used to get accents when she got activated. When her and Mariah, remember, she would talk like this, darling, and all of that stuff. So she let go of all those accents. So I love an activated Quad being her authentic self. I loved her behavior last night. I loved that we saw her skull cap, her wig back like Karen Huger, and her crown tilted. I love it. I'm here for an activated Quad. Love it. And I don't mind. And I'm also here for an activated Quad in this setting specifically because we as viewers never got to see or hear her address post that reunion, what she had fully experienced with Dr. G in the presence of all the other people. Like she might have been around a few ladies or she might have been, you know what I'm saying? But it was never like with the whole group. And I was just saying also that he's continued to be in their lives during this time. It was pre-SweetT even. He was still going over to Cecil's and having a drink. He was still going over to Toya's and meeting with Eugene. He was even still, I think him and Dr. Damon still even were friends because Dr. Damon was sending patients to Dr. G. Okay? So I feel like it was good for Quad to get to say those things, and we know it was edited heavily, so she got a lot off her chest this season so far about how Dr. G's is a Mitch, basically, and an abusive prick, allegedly, right? And she got so much off her chest that he left and was yelling at SweetT and then had to leave the room. And then we heard him confess that he said to her before, I don't want you talking to her. Why not? Why not? Why not? Is she going to tell her some shit that she's currently experiencing? Or is there going to be too many matchups in the story, Dr. G? A psychiatrist would know to tell somebody not to talk to somebody that could tell some shit on them. Or a psychologist. I'm not sure. Can you give the person drugs or not? That's the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. Only one can give you a prescription for drugs. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with it. I am very pleased that she got to address Dr. G in the safety of King's presence. Because you see the look on King's face as soon as he started talking to SweetT like that. You can tell King is a man's man. He not with men piping up to women, especially when your voice is higher than theirs. I told you he was poking her with the thing 2 times. I told you not, just be quiet. Don't talk. He was yelling at her, poking her with the whiteboard. So I'm glad we got to see for our own eyeballs a glimpse of what she had endured, because he was real good at putting on the gas at that reunion, trying to make himself the victim because Quad hadn't slept with him. Oh, I'm such a victim. My wife doesn't want to have my babies. She won't let me put this thing in her twice a week. Well, if you poking her with whiteboards, yelling at her, what's the word for when you emasculate a woman? Right? I bet he tried to get off her. He tried to bring down her goddess glow. I know he did. Because look at how he's taking it out on SweetT, because he got checked on how he treated Quad. And then he's going to turn to the next woman and just be all arms crossed and all big bad and then stand all over there in the elevator on the way up to the thing. And then I got to go. That was freaking ridiculous. And SweetT, I'm praying for you, girl. I'm praying for you, because if you want to have a baby with that? Or is that why you only having sex 2 times a week? Because you know your chances of getting pregnant 2 times a week are far less. Because you realize that if you do have a baby with him, you got to be attached to this asshole for the next 18 years at least. If he's treating you like this on TV, girl, what you going through at home? If he told you before you got on the trip that he don't want you talking to Quad, what are you going through at home? And then she did a text this morning, you guys. I'm going to read it. It wasn't enough that she showed her a complete ass for him last night. But, yeah, it wasn't enough for that. But then she followed it up with a text this morning. Was it one site that showed that? Because I was like, really, SweetT? On site? Is it this one? Let's see. She did a whole text talking about she's always going to take up for her man. Look, when a man has a whole penis and some balls and a scrotum sac, they're called testicles. And that's what he's supposed to kick in the door with to protect you. You're not supposed to have to constantly protect a whole man with a ball sack. Okay? You're not. Who wears the pants at home? Why are you protecting Dr. G? Why not just let him live? Why not just let Quad's words be Quad's words? And why are you taking up this mantle that you don't even really know what the fuck happened? He got you looking really all kinds of stupid right now, darling. It's looking like everything Quad said is true, and you know firsthand. But she texted some bullshit this morning. Where is that? Where'd it go? Damn, where does it go, you guys? Because I be searching high and low. Searching high and low. Let's see. Well, damn it. Thanks for coming into LRGA Curves. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring the bell so you can get notified when we upload videos and whatnot. Over here. Oh, here it is. It's oh my effing.
SweetT and Grant.
Okay. There we go. Here it is. She did a full-on post. Okay. That's the post. It says, The real SweetT. Now I can't go straight to her thing because she blocked me a long time ago because I have thoughts. Sorry. Yeah. Authenticity and truth will always shine through no matter how much envy or negativity tries to dim the light. So she's calling Quad envious and negative, which is the word that Dr. G used for Quad, for expressing herself, for sharing her lived experience. She's doubling, tripling down, you guys. So it wasn't enough that we saw her challenge Quad last night about some shit she don't know nothing about. She was not there. She should really just STFU the way that Quad was telling Mimi. She should really just sit this one out. And then because Mimi was brought on by Sweet and Sour, she's all trying to patronize and pacify freaking Quad in that condescending manner. Oh, everything's gonna. I'm so glad Quad didn't even let her touch her. Bitch, it's not that kind of party. You aren't doing nothing for me. I know what I'm talking about. There is no calming down needed over here. This is all sane. This is all sane and a long time coming. Okay. Okay. So she says, no matter how much envy or negativity tries to dim the light, my marriage is real and built on love and a bond that no outside noise can shake. But while some choose misery, we choose love, growth, and unwavering support for each other. I will never allow anyone to disrespect my spouse in my presence, period. Hashtag love, hashtag thriving together, hashtag unshakable, hashtag sweet and savory. She's still using Quad shit, you guys. Hashtag sweet and savory, hashtag TNG, hashtag real couple, hashtag real marriage, hashtag actually, hashtag married to medicine. Some of the comments under here are she should have never joined the show. Her marriage is built on sliding into an old man's DMs based on a lie. Quad was definitely drunk, but I don't think she said anything offensive to Dr. G or SweetT. I'm sorry, but being on vacation, having your ex watch you with your new fine man while hearing you say you're about to give this man what you wouldn't give him, and his new wife promised can't give him, baby. That was the best revenge a woman could have dreamt of. Ooh, I didn't even think about it like that. Tia the Diva said that. Somebody else said she's trying to convince us or herself. Somebody else said Miss T seems to forget she wasn't in Quad and Greg's marriage. You don't know everything. Sorry, superfan. Somebody else said, based on last night's episode, he continued to speak to you in a disrespectful manner the same way he talked to Quad. SweetT, he wanted a divorce. Dr. G, I fought for our marriage. Me, ouch. He did do that, didn't he? Oh my gosh. Ah, poor thing. SweetT, be for real, for real. You yourself here, you're embarrassing yourself, girl. Been throwing digs at Quad before she even had a scene on the show. Your man is embarrassing too. No need to add music. He's been showing us his ass the entire season. Girl, your spouse been disrespecting you in your presence. Please let this be the last season. So it doesn't look like this is selling. Oh, look, somebody did a paragraph. Let's see. He has asked her numerous times to leave it alone. I'm not sure why she won't take heed. He knows his ex-wife in and out, so he knows this is not an equal playing ground. The girls on the show will continue to stir the pot, and they will always side with Quad. Quad is his ex-wife, who does not deny abuse, who he does not deny abusing or cheating on. That's true. And he wanted to work it out. He just said it again, and would be with if she didn't leave. I'm not sure why he returned back to the show, but some part of me, just from watching, for a few years, since he thought he was going to get the last laugh by bringing SweetT on, he never thought he would see a king. Ooh, you guys. You guys. Oh, let's see what your guys' comments are saying. Quad said that wasn't her stuff. Oh, wait just a second. Candy Loves TV. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Oh, look, Maria Rogers. Somebody came to play, you guys. Somebody came to play. Let's see. Let's see. Miss Kiki is in the house. You feel bad for T at the moment. Same thing happened in Quad. I missed this comment by Maria Rogers, you guys. Somebody said Quad is jealous. If not, why would she be concerned to say anything that pertains to them at all? Just be happy. Womp, womp, womp. I already explained because we have not had an opportunity for this scene in this era. We've had last season, we had him show up to a lot of places where she was showing up alone. He was fine with that. He didn't get a hot head. He didn't have nothing to say then. And now here she come with her man talking about 15 times a week and she want to have his melanated babies. And then he blew a gasket and his head caught on fire. But Quad is jealous. Do we need to look up definitions, Miss Rogers? Shout out to Melody Rogers. Yeah, so I think Quad is very happy to show the world that she came up so hard and to show Dr. G that, look, you can come back with a new you and I can come back with a new you too, bruh. Sun's always shining on Quad, right? You're not late. Everybody's on time. Thank you, Larja. The people on Married to Medicine got real jobs. That's what I'm saying. Excellence. They're not just sitting around having a good kiki, writing a book for 25 years, working on American Mom production for 28 years and nobody's seen an episode. Whatever. But they get all their trips are domestic. All the trips for Black excellence are domestic on Bravo. Somebody needs to write them. That show was ridiculous. King needs to run and everyone else needs to go to counseling. I think King showed exemplary patience in that moment. And I think this look on King's face in this picture, this is the screenshot of when he was looking back at Dr. G poking and berating Sweet and Sour. And I think that he sees that his woman was not exaggerating or lying about the treatment that she endured from high pitch G. So that's what I feel. I appreciate your comment. Burnell Gaskin says, Quad said that wasn't her stuff. Oh, see there? That show was ridiculous. She became the Queen of England when she got mad back. She did, remember? She would all of a sudden start talking like, oh, Miss Quad. And she had like several accents like Dorito over in Beverly Hills. And I'm glad she finally landed on one. And we haven't had an accent experience in at least 2 seasons, I'd say. Even when they were kicking her off the trip in Napa, yeah, we didn't get any accents. G is controlling as hell. He doesn't want Quad telling SweetT the whole tea, right? Exactly. Yeah, SweetT and King are both need to exit. I wouldn't be bothered. I would say, yeah, Dr. G and the new wife need, at least Quad is built for this shit. And I would say based off of King's behavior, King is built for this shit too. He didn't implode and have a meltdown at the mere mention of 15 times or 2 times. Okay. So but it's okay. There's enough room for I'm over here, I hope. I don't know. I remember that reunion. Remember? I was thinking the same thing. Quad didn't sleep the right Quad didn't sleep the right thing not to bring the baby in toxic marriage. Exactly. Quad was like, Quad said it. She's like, I'm not bringing a baby into this shit. I am not bringing a baby into this shit. She knew how she was getting treated. And then having a baby with the old fool was just going to lock her down. Mm-hmm. They make me want to go back and rewatch the old seasons. I do remember he said he tired of taking care of Quad. Remember? Dr. Gregory talked to SweetT like she's a child. He does. These Tammy Wynette stand by your man women are always willing to be disrespected in public by these man boys. Exactly. Exactly. But then mad at Dr. Heavenly because she got a real one who she could stand by her man and he won't even check her in front of their ass the way that they wanted her to be checked for her nonsense. So yeah, anyway, built on love, the way Dr. G talked to you, girl, bye. Quad should sue her for using her brand Sweet and Savory. That's what I'm saying. 25 more thumbs up, please. Thank you. Yeah, that would be cute. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dr. G and him had an issue with Quad is booed up. That's the problem. He came in there with his shirt open. He probably smelled like chocolate. Yeah. Quad said she'll host the baby shower. But you know what? To be honest, did you hear that? I watched it twice. Toya had said it first. Toya had said, oh, and you're going to host the baby shower? And that's when Quad said, oh, yeah, I'll host the whole thing. So Toya was the first messy one. And then Quad took it a step further to show that she wouldn't be scared of shit. Yeah, fuck it, I'll host it. Because it's going to be the only fun your baby has. It would have came off better if she had said this sober. Both of them have unresolved issues. When Dr. G said he fought for his marriage, I would have been out, right? And then left the room. Talk about you fought for. So you tell me you asked for the divorce. Now you're telling everybody that you fought for the marriage. And then you're going to leave the room because I talked to the person you were trying to take away my First Amendment right of speaking to because I just got another earful of how you poking me with whiteboards is exactly what the fuck happened to her. Did that make sense? Quad can never be jealous of whom? Exactly. Exactly. Jealous of her old house, really? Have you seen the fucking resort? Jealous of her old man and his Mini Cooper, really? I would not be jealous of a high-pitched man-ass voice. I would not. I love bass in my voice. Did you know that there's actually there's a word for you being influenced by the tone of people? Did you know that? Yeah. I wouldn't be able to even, I don't know how many times I could have sex with somebody that sounds like Mickey Mouse. Oh, baby, this is so good. Oh, larger. Larger. Yeah, right there, girl. Right there, girl. I don't know if I can stand it. Oh, SweetT. Oh, you make my toes curl, girl. Yeah. Like, so I like my husband, he got a nice bass in his voice. I would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning listening to him talk to me on the phone. Yes. We've known each other since we had to page each other first. Yes. He got all that good bass. Yes. And his problem with me is King's problem with Quad. I sleep too much. Because I bet King could get 30 times in a week. Yes. And all separate encounters. Yes. Okay. Okay. Because you heard Contessa, she had to tell the truth and shame the devil. She's like, multiple orgasms does not count as separate times. Okay. Okay, 15 times 2. Okay. I believe the 15. I already said how it could happen. Morning wood. Look at King. I bet he wakes up with morning wood. The only thing Quad has to do is roll over. Do you think Dr. G wakes up with morning wood still, you guys? You tell me. I bet there's a lot of fluff work involved with SweetT in the preparation of G's junk for some intercoursing. If there's no blue pills, Viagra's involved. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay? Let's see these comments. I don't understand. Last season, Quad and Greg spoke. They did. They did. And you see how it was playing nice at first in this episode. He was not saying a lot, but like Eugene said, he could just see the smoke start coming off his fucking head the more they talked about how happy they were, right? And then he told Quad was being nice. She was just talking a little trash. She was just talking a smidge of trash. I mean, he is a whole man who wanted to completely whine about Dr. Heavenly for 2 hours to Dr. Damon. So he is used to going on about a subject beyond the time. But when somebody else does it, he told her to shut up and not to worry about them. He took it there. He took it to hostile territory. And Quad was smiling the whole time. And Quad was like, oh, you want to be like that, fool? We could be like that. I was just having a little fun. But that tone he took with her, I think it triggered her. She like, I'm not SweetT. You're not about to talk to me in that tone, fool. You are not about to talk to me in that tone. You just keep poking her with the whiteboard, talking to her like that. But you're not ever going to talk to me like that in that tone again, Eugene. I mean, Dr. G. So many G's and U's and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they were there for hours talking trash and stuff. They were. All of these scenes are hours long. Okay. Kimber Monique, thanks. Oh, and Creole came through, and Dana's here. Thanks, you guys. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. But Kimber says, there is nothing for Quad to be jealous of. Dr. G is the one jealous, and his new wife is just dumb. But she only in it for the money, access to the money. She ain't know how cheap he really is. Hello, that's what I'm saying. Yes, the 15. He wakes up with wood. I can tell. You can tell. He probably had wood sitting there. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Quad was just being nice to them. And then he popped off, right? He looked so damn good. And Toya was like, fuck. Damn it. She's like, he got his shirt off. And Mimi's husband can take his shirt off. And then here come Phaedra with another shirt open. You know, Eugene got ravished that night. She was probably just lay down and put this pillow over you from your waist up. Just give me your wood. Toya is so freaking too much. If she could have went and done Eugene doggy style just to get it off while she thought about the other men without having to look at him, she probably would. Or maybe she got a doggy style, so she didn't even have to look at him. She could just feel and imagine all the different shirts open in front of her. Quad always elevates 100. Did Dr. Heavenly say why King wanted to beat up Dr. G? You know, well, a lot of stuff did get cut. And it looks like they kind of left okay in this moment. It doesn't seem like any big blow up happened. But in the preview for next week's episode, well, next week it's not going to show because of the Super Bowl. But the week after's episode, we're going to get them on the beach the day after. And Cecil is like, well, why don't we put all that stuff to bed? And then King is heard saying no. And then Dr. G pops up and he says, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And then runs away and then calls the police. I'm telling you, he's a fucking Mitch. What a Mitch. He jumped up at King and then ran away and then called the police on King. Mitch. Yeah, she did. She even congratulated him on his attempts to make a baby. Yep. I can't stop. Gregory. That's what Quad calls him. Gregory, Dr. G. Yeah. I thought Gregory Cicero, Looseford. Cicero was my granddaddy's name, you guys. So Daddy Curves, you know, he passed in 2023 December. Well, his father was named Cicero, and I had never met another Cicero. And now fucking Dr. G ruined it for me. Because I was, he didn't ruin it for me. My granddaddy had bass in his voice. So that's good. That's a sign. I thought King was going to say something when he told Quad to shut up and piss me off. Yeah, I thought he was too, or maybe he did, and that got cut out, and that's what Cecil might be referring to about let it go from last night. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. Who knows? Nobody want to sleep with Elmo. Oh no! Come over here, SweetT. Give it to me, girl. Give it to me. Ooh, you make my toes curl. Ooh, my toes is curling, SweetT. Quad is chopping wood. And I bet he got a forearm's worth of wood, you guys. I used to think my husband had a freaking forearm in his pants. I was like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that thing, man? A little kickstand, that fucking kickstand. Tripod, right? Quad is chopping wood. Toya is jelly. Toya is jelly, okay? Quad is being nice. You mean nice, nasty. She was purposely being petty. She was having fun at his expense. Petty schmetty. It was a scene. It was a great scene. And it could have been fine, except for he got his drawers in a bunch. Or should I say panties? Because I bet a Mitch would wear panties. So he got his panties in a bunch. And when he couldn't take it out on Quad, because he's still mad Quad left him, you guys. He's still mad. When he couldn't take it out on Quad, he immediately turned his ire on SweetT. And then basically cussed her out and then left her by herself. And then we see her calling, and he was sending her calls to voicemail. You guys. He's a psychologist. He should know the mental effects that has on his wife, who is already screaming about her mental health after last season. And then she's like, I don't think it's that, to Toya. Read the room, bitch. No, because she doesn't read the room, like how she's trying to keep on getting Dr. Heavenly to apologize the 88th time. Now she's not reading the room on this. Read the room. Your man is jealous. Your man wants the chocolate thunder. Your man wants what King is getting 15 times a week and mad that he wasn't getting it for the last 3 years and that she wasn't trying to pop a baby out from her mitochondrial DNA. He's mad, upset, pissed. His manhood is all affected, you guys. Yeah, and I think she was being nice because she wasn't being like, I don't know. You're right, though. It was petty, but it was nice petty. It was cute. Toya's mouth was open, girl, and you know she wanted things in it. Toya's nasty, I bet. Toya always talking about other men's looks. I know. And Eugene has to be mighty confident or know what she's thinking about when he's doing her. And like, she not going nowhere, though. That's a form of confidence. That leprechaun was on fire. His head is literally on fire. Security. Security. He called the popo, y'all. And then his veins is popping out his head when the new guy, Mimi's husband, is sitting there telling him he needs to pick a side. And then Eugene is like, you called the police. All the scenes show his veins throbbing in the side of his head. She is on his mind a lot. Letitia Freeman, thanks for coming through. Yes, I would run too. He does not want to lose his license. Well, hey, yeah, he should run. He should run. I think the guys are going to turn against Dr. G. I think you know what? I think that they were still on his side because they didn't know everything she had gone through. But I don't think any of these doctors' wives are cool with that woman being jabbed with that whiteboard like that in their presence and then not saying shit. I do not believe that. I believe, if anything, Dr. G's own actions of aggression towards his wife might be the reason some of these men want to willy-nilly on their relationships with him. Because if you're poking her with whiteboards in front of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 people, sir, what are you doing at home by yourselves? What are you doing at home by yourself? He was poking her with that whiteboard. I am such a mess. Toya was like, the fuck? 15? And that's not even a bad thing to imagine. Like, you know how some couples you can't really picture it? Like Phaedra and Sheik, they're not doing it, so I don't have to picture it. Mimi and her dude, I bet she's I bet she's a cowgirl kind of. She likes to be in charge. I can imagine her on top. Now, when we get over there to Jackie and Curtis, I'm probably not imagining too much, you know, even with Cecil and Dr. Simone. I'm not imagining too much, right? Now Toya makes me imagine sex, but just not with Eugene. And Contessa and Scott, when they first came up, they were a sexy couple to me. But now, knowing how he treats her, he's not sexy to me anymore, but she's sexy. And Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon, I don't know. I don't know. That's not like a picturing thing, but I bet they get it in and love each other and wake up and kiss each other and get each other's coffee the next morning. So that's cute. Yeah. Did Dr. Elmo really get restraining order on Mandingo King? I bet that's how mad he is. He does not want Quad around him if he can help it. And that's the only way he can still control Quad's access to King is by getting a restraining order on him and then showing up at every scene. Now, if we see G in the rest of the scenes, just so King couldn't be there, then we know for certain it was dick envy. We know for positivity it was the 15 times a week that had that fool call the popo and get a restraining order. Because he thinks that Quad's twat is being abused by King and his wood. She's trying to limit Quad's access to the woods, you guys. That is some Mitch stuff. He's so mad. And SweetT's probably like, oh, well, he did it for me or something. No, bitch. He did it because he don't want King around Quad. Because if you're not around, you can't have 15 chances to do it in a week. In his mind, in his warped Delulu hothead mind, this is all allegedly and for our entertainment purposes, by the way. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. These are opinions. These are thoughts, you guys. BT dubs, okay? Big mad, okay? He was big mad. Quad was being nice. Dr. Q's the one that started being nasty. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't see it like that, though, Tammy. Imagine Quad and King living in different houses and they are able to get it in 15 times a week. I'm telling you, my husband used to, when his car wasn't working, he would drive, he would ride his bike through the freaking Alameda Tube to come see me and get some of this good. You know what I'm saying? When we was living separate, because I made us live separate till we got married, you know, I wasn't trying to give away cow milk for free. But I was and everything, but I just wasn't going to do it under the same roof because I felt like that would just prolong it further. So what had happened was we dated and then we lived together for a year after he proposed and we had set the date. Then we lived together for a year to learn each other. And he puts the toothpaste cap back on. I don't. He likes to roll the toothpaste. I just squeeze. I put the toilet paper on back. He puts it on facing. He does leave the toilet seat down. So like we just had to learn each other, right? So that's the most we lived together was for 1 year before we got married, but we dated for years and years before that and was getting it in pretty regular. So yeah, this might be TMI, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh darn, it keeps going. I didn't know there were so many comments down here. Yeah, okay. He's still mad. Don't want to leave it to lose his license. Don't start no drama. Yeah, if he don't want to lose his license, then he should have just shut up. The way SweetT said, I thought he would have just sat there and not said anything. But he piped up. He piped up because he's out of control when it comes to Quad, you guys. The leprechaun ran like a bitch from Mandingo King. Right? Dr. G is mad that Quad has this young, handsome man. King brought Quad a Rolls Royce, and that mansion is to die for. I heard, remember the ladies were wondering how Quad got that beautiful home? Well, she did build that home from the ground up. That's not his house. Imagine Quad and King living in, yep, we already said that. Okay. Yeah, he was poking her and no one said anything, Zelene. No one spoke up for Sweet and Sour. Nobody. But I don't think King liked it. Look at the look on King's face. That looks like he did not like that shit one bit. SweetT is getting in the business talking about Dr. G left Quad. Lies. Dr. G tweeted on Quad. Yep, the nerve of SweetT. Exactly. SweetT is an immature girl, very. Contessa and Scott look like they can't stand each other. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's like, I'm getting the energy like Scott got a lot of other stuff going on that we can't know about. And that's part of why we don't see him this season as much, except for when he was getting Botox. So we couldn't know what he's really emoting. Yeah. He won't be able to furrow his brow. Okay. We won't know if he's about to cry until the tears come. Okay. But she seems like she's putting it on really thick. Contessa, I feel like she's putting it on really thick. Like asking him, oh, should I wear this or should I wear this? And I keep telling you guys, I don't know what Contessa did to piss Scott off that he keeps telling her she looks great in everything she leaves the house in when it's all from Party City clearance rack. I'm not sure what she could have done to piss him off. If I had on some Party City stuff, my husband would literally be like, are you sure? You know, if I asked for his honest opinion, he would be like, you might want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to tell me my ass is big or nothing because he's that smart, even though it is. But he definitely won't have me out in the streets in a freaking Cleopatra costume at a Punjab party. Greg wants Quad back so bad he doesn't know what to do with himself. Baby, they allow Quad to play in their face. And instead of playing it forward with you, Quad, exactly. Quad had physical altercation with Gregory. She put his ass on blast when she told Andy Cohen about him cheating in the hotel. Yep, she got out of control when it comes to Quad and facts. Yep. Baby, the look on King's face is everything, right? That's what I'm saying. I have to disagree. Quad was wrong knowing that girl is having issues getting pregnant. Quad was wrong for what? For bringing up her pregnancy thing? I think Quad was trying to be helpful. I agree. You need to do it way more than twice a week if you're trying to have a baby with a senior citizen. If you're trying to have a baby with a man whose nuts are touching the water, you need to be doing it way more than 2 times a week, darling. Quad was trying to help. And the issues with getting pregnant could be from not having enough sex on top of whatever she's enduring with the endometriosis. Quad, yes, out of control. Not TMI, love facts, right on. Quad said she was hosting the baby shower. I died. But Toya's messy for suggesting it first. Yes. Quad is how much younger than Dr. G? She had an old man too. Exactly. Well, she's not 30 something. She's 40 something. And if Dr. G is in his 50s, maybe it was a nice 8-year spread. Maybe it was a 6-year spread or something like that. I'm not sure. If you think that Quad is being nice, then y'all have no sense. Drunk or not, she was out of line. Just say y'all love drama and leave it at that. No, I think she was being nice. I think that she could have just went directly to, you're an abusive asshole prick. You did X, Y, Z. You guys will never have a baby. I don't want you to have a baby. And even if I could, she could have done a mean. She could have been mean. She could have definitely been mean. You don't think that was, you've never heard Quad read the girls down for filth? Because she can read a bitch. And G was acting like a bitch last night, and he did not get read, you guys. He did not get read. That was light tea shade. Okay? At least in my opinion, but I appreciate that thought. Yes, that good. Contessa just not herself this season, right? She's so skinny and over the top for no reason. Yeah, picking fights with Heavenly for no reason. I'm like, are you okay? Have you guys seen that movie Blink Twice yet? It's on Amazon Prime right now for free. If you guys are Prime members, it is so good. Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz's daughter, directs it and produces it, and it's about Diddy parties, allegedly like white Diddy parties where the people are all in white and the party turned into a month until the lady's neck got snapped and she got bit by a snake. Yeah, so good. So good. If you like different, like I couldn't predict anything. I can usually predict what's going to happen in a movie. And my kids are always like, Mom, why are you drinking the movie? On that movie, I couldn't even figure it out. I had no idea. It was like when you got to the end and you're like, I see dead people. You're like, what? Yeah. Blink twice, you guys. So freaking good. Yeah, and she is not being herself. It's like she forgot herself and maybe she needs some snake venom to remember herself because this isn't the Contessa that we were trying to love last time she was around. Yes. Twice a week is like sour tea, please. He didn't Greg. We never heard Greg give Quad 2 years to get pregnant. Now you can't be scared of King losing your medical license. Pick a struggle, doctor. Yeah, you're either gonna yell at his woman and not know the repercussions of that kind of shit, or you're gonna shut the fuck up and act unbothered like your wife wants you to, Dr. G. Which will it be? Oh, you're Mitch, a restraining order? Carry on. Oh, Quad is, not late 40, 42. Okay, so she's 42. Yeah, that's not late 40s at all. She's and that means, and I think sweet and sour is like what, 33 or 36. Yeah. Those old men can make a baby. My husband and I had our baby old. Oh, rest in peace. Bless his heart. Yeah, when we were old. How old? Like in your 40s, 50s? And were you guys the same generation? And like Dr. Heavenly says, what we need to see on camera is Dr. G going to get his sperm counted. Okay, that's what we need to see on camera because he putting her through a whole lot and he was begging Quad for a whole lot to not produce nothing yet. Sir, need to go put a baby in the spiral. Do it more than 2 times a week. If she's on a 2-year schedule, new rule, Dr. G, you're going to have to try to get it up at least 7 times a week, bruh. But you expect her to get pregnant in 2 years off of 2 times a week? Please. You're not even really trying to work on this, are you? But you tried to work on that with Quad. Plus, Quad and Greg had a lot in common. Quad is pre-med biology degree. Yep. And you see SweetT keep on trying to act like she's in the medical profession, even though Quad is technically medicine. Also, if people want to keep getting technical with why is she on here, her whole background is in the medical fields, you guys. And like the person just said, she got a whole degree in the stuff. Okay, she's a former pharmaceutical rep. Okay, Quad is very supportive. Yes. Emmanuel, did I miss anything from you earlier? Thanks for being here, you guys. Emmanuel Manny's TV Talk is he got a channel in these streets. Hey Curves, Greg was wrong to yell at his wife. Yep. Did you see when he was poking your friend with that whiteboard? Because Emmanuel loves SweetT too. Did you see what he was when he was poking Sweet and Sour with the whiteboard, telling her to be quiet? And nobody did anything? And then all she did was try to cover up for him. I would have been like, why are you poking me with that shit? The 8th housewife would have had to play my reaction because there would have been a reaction to getting poked with the 2 times board. Quad is still bitter and doesn't want to see G happy. She started it all. She's toxic. Oh, is that what your friend told you, Emmanuel? Emmanuel, I love you. I love you. But we do not agree on this. Not at all. I just explained everything. Quad is not bitter. Actually, This look on her face right here when she was telling SweetT, you want everything I have? Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Nobody's bitter of the old house. Nobody's bitter of a voice like this. Oh, SweetT, come in here, girl. Oh, make my toes curl. Yeah, I don't think that she's bitter. Okay, she does not. No, I do not subscribe to that. No, she's not toxic. From what I saw, Sweet and Sour's husband is toxic, poking her, yelling at her, disrespecting her in front of 16 other people is what is toxic. What Quad was doing was great television and entertaining to the highest of entertaining. And it was nice, messy, but it was not toxic at all. Nuh-uh. I hope Dr. G does retire. Toya is an instigator. Yes, because she was like, "Oh, you gonna do the baby shower?" Quad read all the women at the reunion, told them she don't have children and she don't have to pay for college tuition or buy any cars. Exactly. But she can if she wants. Scott and Contessa are acting very strange. Very strange. I'm telling you, there might need to be some snake venom involved because they are acting very strange. Quad is turning 45 years this year. Okay. Dr. G ain't worth the headache, right? I'm only getting poked 2 times a week, but you poking me with this board like I wish I was getting poked like Quad. Contessa. Yes. Emmanuel. D-Pick is in the house. Thanks for coming. Dr. G is trying to act like he's a player and SweetT is gold digging, right? Blink Twice is so good. Oh my God. Can Dr. G get it up more than 2 times a week? That's what I'm saying. He's a doctor. Maybe he can write himself a prescription for some Viagra. Uh-huh. They're very expensive, but let SweetT tell us they're the only ones that don't need the money on the show. And Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Damon, Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, Dr. Mimi, and everybody and Quad, they all need the show. But SweetT and her government job and also working at Dr. G's office and Dr. G, they don't need the money. Nope. Let her tell it. Nope. They don't need it. So they should have enough money to get some blue pills so that he can get it up at least 7 times a week and put a baby in the spiral. I love to hear Heavenly, love to call her Contessa, right? Yes, she keeps yelling at that child, telling her to leave Quad alone, right? Quad can have Dr. G anytime. And that's what it kind of was giving. That's no wonder like Dr. Heavenly has been saying that, and other people think it because that reaction was all such sexual tension. It was like he remembered the smell and was so upset that he didn't have access to it and that King gets to smell it 15 times a week. He was very upset. Quad is happy with her new man. To be a psychiatrist, it was very disturbing behavior, very toxic, disturbing behavior. I know women having kids in their late 40s. I was 44 when I had my second child. I was 44. Yep. I was 39 when I had my first child. So yeah, you guys, Blink Twice movie was about sexual S to women on a billionaire private island. And he gave the women a perfume that they sprayed on their skin. And then it would make them just have a good time. It was almost like a mix of, maybe it was like that pink stuff that Diddy gives out, because it would have them feeling good and they could get abused. And the more traumatic the abuse, the more they would forget the abuse, but remember the good time that they had. And oh man, it was deep. It was so crazy, man. So crazy. I will not be able to look at Dr. G the same. I will be thinking about you. Sounding like Elmo. Ooh, SweetT, get in here. Ooh, you make my toes curl, girl. Ooh, girl, yeah. Ooh, SweetT, here it comes. I'm gonna explode. I'm about to explode, SweetT. That's probably what it sounds like. It probably shuts her ovaries off. I don't know. I cannot. I wonder, Toya Ortiz, thanks for coming through. I wonder if Dr. G is taking a blue pill because he came out of the article. It wasn't working a few years ago. The perfume makes them lose memory. But if the perfume makes you lose memory, then why was that the gift that they got when they left? Because the men would get it in that red bag, but then the men would also remember that they wanted to go back to the island and everything that they did. It was weird. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe, because the men knew what the fuck was going on, except for that one boy. He didn't know. And he found out what was going on. He did try to hurt the people too. Poking with the whiteboard was domestic violence, and we all witnessed it. We all witnessed domestic violence, and we all witnessed 8 other men not intervene or do anything as far as we could tell. I do not like that, Sam. I am. Because to me, like a Dr. Damon would have been like, oh, that's not cool, bro. And even the look on King's face is like, oh, that's not cool, bro. Look, you know what I mean? So that was definitely a form of abuse. That was a form of abuse, according to my own interpretation of what abuse is and the definition I read. What I witnessed on Married to Medicine was a form of abuse with that whole poking, and then it was emotional abuse afterwards with him blaming her for his outburst and then alienating her and abandoning her. There was several abuses happening last night that made me feel for SweetT in a whole new way. And then she's apologizing today and tripling down on her being treated like that, you guys. That's some Stockholm shit happening over there. I don't know if he's putting something in the water to make her lose her fucking good sense, but that I read you guys what she sent out today talking about she's always going to defend him after he was poking her with the board and embarrassing her ass. Okay? I'm not there. I'm so mad, Carlos, tonight. I did want Dr. Heavenly's commentary, but she should be back on tomorrow, at least on her Patreon. And you know, if I get it, you guys get it. Let me see. I remember that like a damn fool. Good luck to his patients, right? Yes, the foaming at the mouth, and he was rolling around on the floor when they had that couple session that time. And she was like, I really can't. I really can't. And he's like, what do you want me to do? And he was totally gaslighting her and being more narcissistic then too, taking what she was saying, she was experiencing it and minimizing it like he taught his new wife to do. And then trying to explain away her experience and then create himself as a victim in that moment. Remember? Yep. Dr. G count might be slow, right? Y'all remember when Quad was having a grown-up conversation and he was rolling around, foaming at the mouth. I'll never forget it. Yes, Emmanuel says, Curves, I love Married to Medicine, but if my friend SweetT and my favorite Phaedra leave the show, it will go downhill. Look, the show has been the best show on Bravo for 11 seasons. Phaedra, with her smirks and great wigs, has added nothing to the show as far as content-wise and will not be missed and did not add to its excellence in any way. And your little friend Sweet and Sour she's bringing eyes to the show, but it's only because people are, as it turns out, like seeing her embarrass herself. We're like practically, we're chomping at the bit for the next time she's going to embarrass herself or the next time Dr. G is going to embarrass her. So if she wants to continue to get embarrassed on national global platform, then she might want to stay for our entertainment. But if not, then she and Phaedra can both go because Phaedra's not even going to call her when she's done with her. Phaedra's only pretending to be in her life right now. Phaedra's habits. Oh, so how do you feel about Phaedra trying to get Quad fired? How do you feel about Phaedra turning on the doctors this year the way she did? See, like that kind of stuff in real life lets me know that the way Phaedra left Real Housewives of Atlanta is the same reason why a person like Phaedra won Traitors, because in her heart, that's what she is, a traitor. I said it. That wasn't even acting for her. That was real life experience coming in handy on the set for her to get an Emmy for her known behavior and personality traits. The Real Housewives, I told you guys, the Real Housewives of Dubai, case in point. Where was Phaedra? Nowhere in the Bravo sphere. She called and reached out to the women of Real Housewives of Dubai. I showed you guys the tape. Chanel Ayan told us. She called them and was like, "Can I meet with you?" She flew out there and got on the show at their request. She requested their help to get on the airtime. They helped. Then what did Phaedra do? She goes on to Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and they ask her about a housewife, and she tears down the two ladies that got her on Bravo onto the Dubai show, which was Chanel Ayan. Yep. And Carolyn Brooks. Yep. Yep. So she used them. And then when she didn't have any further use for them, her crab in a bucket mentality allowed her to try to tear them down so she could get up. And then she called over here to Quad's house at Married to Medicine. And she called Quad and Quad was like, "Can you help me get on the show?" And Quad was like, "Come on, girl." She helped Quad get on the show. And then not only did we see her turn on Quad on the show, but then she took it a step further after season 10. And between season 10 and season 11, Phaedra took her good fakey McFakerson ass to HR and tried to get Quad fired. Uh-huh. And tried to take food out of Quad's mouth and take food off of Quad's table. Yep, sure did. Okay? So she has this habit of rinse and repeat on specifically against Black women who helped her in some regard. She then turns around and tears down. Yeah, true tea. You guys Google it yourself. You guys do your own wormhole, but I've done it already. Check the last tape I did on this shit. I showed you guys the proof timelines, receipts. Showed you Chanel Ayan's words. I showed you Dr. Heavenly's words. Dr. Jackie admitted it, that there was a meeting that Phaedra headed up where she tried to get Quad kicked off of this show, that she's bringing fake boyfriends on to argue with Apollo because she was trying to set Apollo up to have Apollo out here looking crazy. So if you think the show is going to go downhill from smirks and fabulous wigs and from a person not ready for prime time, then I don't know what to tell you, because it remains the best show on Bravo. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. And Phaedra does not make me love it anymore. Her BS, her lies, her spin factory, her gaslighting, everything. She's the mean girl. But next week, we're going to have to hear about how all the other girls are mean. Really, gaslighter? Really, gaslighter? Really, they're mean? When you were actively trying to get them fired? Really, bitch? Whatever. You can play that with somebody else. Play it. Quad is not toxic. Y'all are just slow like tea. Earl Grey. Don't ruin my Earl Grey. Look. I love you guys. Let's see. Yes, I can't even do it. Quad said he was mentally and physically abusive. She did. Greg went back outside the hotel room to pick a fight with King. Ooh, maybe they did see each other after he left the room. And that's why the next morning we're going to hear Cecil say that Dr. Leprechaun wanted to do the show because he's a fame hoe. Yep. Word on the curb. Thanks for coming through. This is by far the very best episode this season. Yeah, and from Dr. Heavenly's mouth to God's ears, Quad is going to keep serving up heaps and heaps of this good entertainment and comeuppance on Dr. G. Yes, Diddy, baby oil, GHB. Yes, GHB. Oh my God. Okay. So, I don't know if I should tell you guys this part of the story. So back in the day, it's been a long enough time. And there's no statute of limitations that I need to be worried about. But I know for a fact that one of the components of GHB is industrial grade paint thinner, because I had this friend, rest in peace, Pedron. He used to make it and sell it at the club, right? And people would do it because it gives you like this freaking euphoric feeling. And it's this liquid. It tastes disgusting. And people would take it and they would call it like the liquid X or whatever, but it really wasn't. It's literally industrial grade paint thinner. Okay. So, um, yeah, you would have to go down to the industrial space in your city to where they have hardcore paint thinners and get industrial grade paint thinner for the main component in GHB. Now, the worst part about GHB is there is no dosing. So, like, you could take a cap today and be fine, but the cap you take tomorrow could put you over. And I used to always say, like, I'm not taking that shit. I used to go party in San Francisco. I was a legend, you guys. I used to go party in San Francisco back in the day when I was young. And people would offer you all kinds of things in the city. And people would offer me some G, and I'd be like, I'm not taking no G because you know why? They'd be like, why? I say, because I don't want to end up on that couch in VIP with my head in the cushion. Because that's the kind of shit that would happen on the GHP. I was like, I look way too cute to be out of that much control. Nope. People on G take a cap full of GHP, go to use the bathroom. You walk in the bathroom and they're sitting on a public toilet in a club in San Francisco with their pants down around their ankles, passed out because of GHP. So anything where I'm going to lose my faculties like that, and I know it's a possibility, I'm not taking that shit willingly. And that's what happens. Yep, they put the GHB in the baby oil because it's absorbed through your pores. And then you forget everything. You don't remember shit. Talk about a roofie. You don't remember nada. Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. You're getting a lot of extra information today. Defend him, Sour Tea, please, when Greg made it clear that he tried to save the marriage. Yep. I bet I bet that's how he sounds for real, right? He wanted T to go far away, back to Alabama. Phaedra gave nothing to the show, and I'm glad she's leaving. Blink twice is like a freak off 100%, right? Me too. I hope she's gone. Dr. G yelling in her face. That was disgusting. And then how his arms were getting all wild in the hotel room and shit. Fuck that. Poor thing. I felt so bad for her when he sent her call to voicemail. I was like, bitch, that was hard to watch. That was so hard to watch. Man, Phaedra is a friend to no one. Look at how she treated her friend Candy, and everything Heavenly says about Phaedra is correct. She is phony and full of lies, right? But she has an army. She has an army of people who love a good made-up liar with a great wig and a made-up face. They don't care that she's a proven liar again and again and again and again and again. They don't care that it's literally her real life personality, that she's a fucking liar and a danger to other women. It's reputations at least. They don't care about that. They think, oh, Phaedra's the bee's knees. She's the honey in the bee's knees, you guys. With her fakey McFakerson ass. I like real shit. That's why I have locks down to my ass. Because I like real shit. Okay? I don't like fake shit. I like real shit. I do not like it, Sam I am. I do not like fake eggs and ham. Okay? I just don't. And that's part of my thing with fakey McFakersons like Phaedra. And then when you're going to come for my fave, Dr. Heavenly, who all she does is tell the truth on your lying ass, and you're going to try and spin it like, oh, you're doing this while I'm in confessionals? Well, you're not confessing the truth, that's for sure. You're not in that kind of confessional where we have to be worried about hearing the truth. Dr. Elmo is a waste of time. Quad helped her get on the show, and Phaedra tried to get her fired. I'm telling you, all facts on what you're saying about phony fake Phaedra. People have been calling her Fraudra. I kind of like that one, Fraudra. Heavenly may take it back, but she don't be lying. That's what I'm saying. Phaedra is a snake. That's why Candy benched her for 5 years, and she had to go around and do a reach around to other melanated goddesses to try to get back in the limelight, only for her to now leave this show high and dry. Tried to get Quad fired from her bread and butter of 10 years, only to leave him high and dry and run back to the Titanic. She dubbed the Titanic Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she ran back to the sinking ship. And I'm telling you guys, it's still going to sink because nothing good will happen on Real Housewives of Atlanta until they do right by Nene Leakes. She might have got a settlement, but until she's on my screen on a Bravo show for at least 13 episodes or something, for at least 2 to 3 consecutive seasons, nothing will go right on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mark my motherfucking words. God don't like ugly and very little pretty. And you see, since she left, it's all been swirling in the toilet since then. You can dust off Phaedra's wig. You can dust off Cynthia Bailey's cheekbones. You can even dust off Portia's freaking Bentley. But nothing will happen on that show until they do right by Nene Leakes. Period. They got the curse at the end of the color purple practically on their ass. When the lady put those 2 fingers in her thumb, remember? Until you do right by me, nothing. Remember? Oh, darn. Sopa Baby, I wonder what you said. You retracted something. Then called all those medical providers female dogs, Phaedra. Yes! Bitches like these. Really, bitch? How about lying bitches like you who marry cons and con men and knowingly get pregnant on a freaking conjugal visit? How about that, bitch? What about a bitch like that, Phaedra? What about a bitch like that? I'm disappointed in you, Phaedra. Does anyone else notice that Phaedra only shows one of her sons, Aiden, and no one ever shows? Yeah, I did kind of notice that. I did high key notice that. She shows the older one, but we never hardly ever see the president. We hardly ever see the president. Isn't that interesting? I wonder if something, and it's so funny because I had my baby the same year, my second son, the 11-year-old. I had him when I was 44, like I said, and at that baby shower, I wanted it to be an inauguration. I didn't call it a baby shower. I called it my baby's name inauguration. And when I came in the room for the baby shower, they played dun 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 dun, because you know that's the song they always play when the president walks in. It was hilarious, and the invitations looked like it had a seal on it, like a presidential seal. It was so cute. It was really cute. Yeah, but nobody ever sees Mr. President. I did notice that. Fast forward through Phaedra only scenes, has business back on Bravo TV after she did to Candy. And that's the other thing. If they can let Fraudra, Fakey McFakerson, Phaedra Parks, lying, proven liar ass back on there, then where is Nene Leakes? All she did was point out everything that all the other following cases after her said. But even Phaedra's like, oh, I don't know if you can sue him and come back to work, bitch. But you actively encourage and Contessa to fight other doctors. Okay. Phaedra is envious and malicious. She is so mad. Y'all remember when she tried to divorce Apollo and leave him penniless, but misspelled his name on the paperwork? And he said, oh, no, yep. Amen. I have to watch the show since Nene left, right? I haven't watched the show. I forgot about that girl. Apollo sure is a convict. That's what I'm saying. And that's what Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai said when she was tearing down Phaedra, ripping her to shreds. Oh my God, that lady is epic. She was like, she's like, she had the nerve to talk about my English, but I bet she wished she knew how to spell con man. And then talked about her begging them to get on the show only to tear her down. Yup. Anyway, you guys, it was a great episode. Married to Medicine, best show on Bravo, with or without Sweet and Sour, with or without Fakey McFraudrison. And it looks like we're in for an epic 5 more episodes. They have 15 episodes this season before we get to the reunion. And yes. All right. Thanks for coming through and thanks for being a new subscriber. Spuda Baby, I appreciate all of my curvy crew. Remember, there's enough to go around, so go get some. All right. And thanks for being here with me on this 3rd day of Black History Month. Right on. And again, look around wherever you are and thank Black people because it's our ingenuity, our creativity, and our imaginations, and our being the mother of motherfucking necessity that got half the shit jumping in this world. So I'd say at least 80% of what we use in our common day life here on the 3rd of February in 2025 came from Black ingenuity. So a shout out to that, okay? Everything. Turn to the nearest Black person and thank them instead of blame them next time. Okay? How about that be the new phenomenon? That instead of you turn around and look for the nearest Black person to blame some bullshit on, you turn around and look for the nearest Black person and thank them for them and their ancestors putting all this shit together for it to now be called DEI. And everybody knows the truest DEI recipients were the fucking colonizers that came over here on their Mayflower and their penal colony asses till they already lived upon lands of the indigenous people that were here. Let's talk about that DEI. But oh no, I'm getting myself worked up. Curvies. It's not that kind of show, but it could be. Anyway, I love you all. Be Black if you're Black. Reveal your excellence. You have a talent. That melanin is popping for a reason. Even the freaking new guy in charge of vaccines just say that melanated people, the Blacks, are superior. Our immune systems are superior. Our food tastes better because we're superior. He didn't say that part, but I know it's part of it. It's not just our immune systems that are superior. It's everything about us is superior because our melanin is a superpower. It makes our food taste better. We can dance better. We can hear better. We can see further. We can live longer. All kind of shit. They have to come up with a lot. To try to fuck with our Black excellence. But you continue to be excellent. Okay? Even if you're not Black. If you're a curvy, you're excellent. Because like minds and whatnot. Okay? But if you're Black, especially this month, be proud, be Black, and be excellent because you are by birth. The melanin in you is your superpower. You're already upgraded. You have an XP up levelation in your fucking game, man. Okay? Live it, breathe it, be it. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next oh, you love my energy. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, don't get no fucking why did he pardon Dr. Fauci? If he had to pardon him, does that mean you should go get something? Anyway, it's not that kind of show, but it could be. See you in the next video.